All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole collective Israel. And as you can see, the date of this article, July 23rd, 2019, the year of Kragma. And the title of this article is The U.S. on its way to becoming a cashless society. And the short answer is absolutely. All right. Why? All right, because the new monetary system of this new world order is going to be via a digital currency, whatever they call it, Bitcoin, Phoenix, whatever they call it. There might be multiple companies, all right, because you already have companies like Microsoft and MasterCard joining together. All right, this thing called Libra. I did a video on maybe a few weeks back. All right, this is what the world is heading into. All right, the monetary system is being shaped around a digital currency. All right, everything's going to be digital. Okay, all this dollar to dollar trade. All right, all things of that nature that cannot be digitally taken note of. All right, it's going to be done away with. All right, hand-to-hand trade is no longer going to be possible in this new world order system. All right, and going into that chip, all right, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. All right, unless you have that chip, you're not going to be able to participate in society. You're not going to be able to, as the scriptures say, buy or sell. All right, nothing involving this world will you be able to do, because you'll be casted out. Okay, you cannot pay your rent, you cannot work. Okay, you cannot do anything. All right, and in some cases, you will be beheaded. Okay, because you will be deemed the enemy of the state. Okay, in their plans of this new world order. All right, and that's what's going on around the world. All right, the nations are jockeying in position. All right, for pole position for the new world order. Okay, and that's and going into why the dollar is crashing is being done on purpose. All right, so-called America. What's the quote? Mark Twain. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. Okay, what happened? In the 1920s. All right, after it came out of World War I, they came into which is the period in time of America called the Roaring Twenties. And what were they doing in the Roaring Twenties? Living in pleasures, you name it. Jazz music and stuff like that. Living lavishly. Okay, and what happened going into the 1930s? All right, was the Great Depression. All right, and that's what's going on again here in America. All right, and what got so-called America out of the Great Depression? World War II. All right, the Second World War is what got America out of its depression. All right, because why? Because they wanted to make the dollar the standard of trade. After America bombed Japan, and everybody was afraid. America said, the dollar is going to be the standard of trade, and that's what's going to happen again. All right, in Esau's eyes, is he's going to make mandatory this digital currency worldwide. All right, especially really his digital currency, because these nations are already trying to make their own, and they get in trouble for it. So, for example, Venezuela, all right, happened in Iraq. All right, they try to do it in Libya. All right, America comes after these countries, and who is America after now? All right, Iran. All right, America is the people behind. Okay, the people empowered. All right, the hidden elite of Esau. They're pulling the strings behind the scenes and setting up this new world order agenda. Okay, and this chip is going to be made mandatory here in the States. All right, and then it's going to be made mandatory around the world. All right, and that's when all hell's going to break loose, when this chip is made mandatory, and it's going to happen very, very soon. All right, because the dollar can no longer hold its weight for much longer. All right, and there's another article I'm going to bring out really fast. All right, showing that these elites, these bankers, well know that the dollar is about to be dropped. Okay, because nothing is holding up the dollar. All right, only thing that's holding up the dollar is America's military might. Okay, because they got the big guns. All right, but you can see around the world, the other nations are getting roused up against so-called America, all right, being Babylon the Great. But nonetheless, let's get this article started, and then I'm gonna get Revelations 13 chapter really quick, and just the Lord's one, of course, is be edifying. So, is the U.S. becoming a cashless society? All right, of course. As digital payments spread from coastal coffee shops to rural restaurants, business owners, lawmakers, and consumers across America are asking themselves this question. And depending on where you live, the concept of cashless is either a heated debate, the wave of the future, or a term you've never heard of. All right, and that cashless society stuff is already here. All right, most of your transactions, all right, and it goes into like percentages and stuff. All right, most of the transactions you do on a daily are mostly digital. All right, how many times in the past month have you used cash? All right, it's few and far between. It's not common. Okay, because even when you go to ATMs, all right, they're very inconvenient. All right, sometimes if you're not at your proper bank, they tax you $3. All right, so you just use your card. Okay, but continuing. What was that? Oh, where the debate does exist, it highlights the growing tensions between an evolving consumer payments landscape, a desire for increased business efficiency, and a growing concern that and underbanked consumers may be marginalized in the cashless society. All right, and this is how Esau is going to get utter control of the world. All right, and permanently put his place as ruler of the earth. All right, is via this monetary system, this chip. All right, because he already has the whole world in debt, but it's not enough to have the whole world in debt. All right, he wants total dominance. Okay, and this chip is basically it's a branding instrument of and I'm gonna get into Revelation 13 chapter, but he wants to fully oppress the world fully. All right, and this chip is how he's gonna do so. And speaking of this new world order, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are not involved, okay, at all. All right, you look into the Georgia Guidestones. All right, there's a population that it's basically the 10 Commandments of Esau. All right, and it has a population where you Jakes there's no room for you. Okay, so talking about the marginalization, it already happens in today's society. All right, with the redlining, all right, with credit. So what more with this chip? And at the push of a button, your whole thing could be turned off. Okay, some of them, I get into it. There's cyanide in it. Cut it off, and you just die. That goes in your bloodstream. You just drop. Okay, so these it's always so innocent on the surface, but always behind is always a sinister plot. All right, and that's where you see Esau. Okay, he had the rise of digital payments. I mean, there's no need to get into it. But the point is, Esau's this is the new way of the world, and Esau is getting ready to drop the dollar and usher in this mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right, so here it is. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it doesn't matter where you get this chip, wherever you put this chip. All right, if you receive it, all right, the Most High is gonna, like it says in the next chapter over, you're gonna receive, all right, the full wrath of his indignation. Okay. So right here, all right, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Okay, so if you take this chip, in your hand, your forehead, in your ankle, wherever, all right, you're going to be punished. All right, we're going into Mark, the charagma, going into the blue letter, going to the mark. All right, a stamp or imprinted mark. Okay, and that's the actual device, the device itself. All right, that is the stamp, that is the imprinted mark that will go inside of your body, all right, and make you a cyborg. Okay, because this is just the beginning of Esau's new world order, and it's spiritual, because Esau thinks he's coming to his beginning, but Jacob is about to come into his beginning. Okay, so here a scratch or itching, a stamp, a badge of servitude, exactly. Okay, sculpted figure, a graven, a mark. All right, but a brand of servitude. All right, making you a slave. All right, because we already are slaves according to debt, because it says in scriptures. All right, the the lender is lord over the borrower. Okay, so Esau is already in control, but that's not enough for him. Okay, see, the mark brand upon horses. Okay, this is a brand of ownership. All right, saying that Esau is your God. Okay, but going into the root word, karax, a pail or a stake. All right, and that pail or stake is that the device that pushes in that chip. Okay, and I probably could Google it really fast. RFID chip implant. You can probably see the instrument. I don't really know the exact name, but just really quick. See right there. Whoops. This is the instrument that, see, that's the instrument. That's the karax, all right, the pail or stake, all right, a piercing instrument, all right. This is what's going to pierce your skin, and the charagma is that device right there, all right. That's the brand, okay. Just like you have a brand on a Honda or a Ford, okay, Esau is going to brand you with his chip, okay. He has an antenna, has a tracking silicone in it, all right. This is not supposed to go on your body, all right. This is just simple common sense, all right. And that's just being carnal, okay. Things like this do not belong in the body, all right. If it was, it would be in there already, all right. But being spiritual, okay, Esau is trying to make himself a god on the earth, all right, and really finesse Jacob out his blessing, which is not going to happen, okay. But going back, finishing up, this is a Revelation chapter 13, chapter 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, exactly. You're not going to be able to participate in society, not going to be able to trade, nothing, unless you have this chip, all right, unless you're in the system, all right, this beast system, okay, being Esau's, in this time, the New World Order, okay. All right, you can look it up, New World Order, the Illuminati, okay, this is basic stuff, you should, already have kind of had a zeal of in the world. I remember in school on the bus, people talking about Illuminati, okay, so, 12 and 10-year-old kids know about the Illuminati, all right, so things like this, you should know that there's even if they're not called Illuminati, okay, there's people behind the scenes that run the world, okay, and that's these elite bankers of Esau, because, hey, like they say, the money makes the world go round, all right, and Esau is the one behind all this, okay, pulling the strings, all right, but ultimately the Most High is pulling the strings, all right, and for example, all right, quick precept, this is Job 5:12, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, okay, Esau's enterprise is this New World Order, all right, this New World's Order, okay, I mean, it's lucky, probably didn't, basically, enterprise is like a corporation, pretty much, all right, because America is a corporation via the Act of 1871, all right, after, if I'm not mistaken, the Civil War, America went bankrupt, and the elite bankers bailed out America and bought the United States, all right, that's why it's called the Corporate States, United Corporate States of America, all right, pretty sure it's the Act of 1871, let me Google check, okay, because America is just a big business, that merchant city. Act of 1871. America. Corporation of America. Yep. Whatever. Esau is probably trying to debunk. Is it a myth? Fuck out of here. No, that's a birth certificate. That's another way to show that America's a corporation, because you're here. When you're born, your parents register you with the government as a corporation, all right, by receiving and signing a birth certificate. Right, and there's a reason why your name is in capital letters too, because you're considered dead, pretty much. Okay, no, you do that for a dead man when there's all capital letters. Yeah, but Esau's trying to censor stuff. I probably have the picture in my phone, but here it is. The Act of 1871. if you're aware that the U.S. ceased being a constitutional republic, a sovereign nation via the Act of 1871, and became a corporation owned by the very elite we pushed back against. All right, so that it was Act of 1871. YAHAWASHI. Okay, so this is Esau's enterprise. All right, United Corporate States of America. All right, but the Most High told us not to worry about this dude. Okay, because the Most High is about to take care of this man. All right, so this is really fast. I'm just gonna close this out with some quick precepts. This is Psalms chapter 37 and verse 7. Rest in the Lord Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way. All right, the wicked is prospering in their ways. Why? Because Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, so this is their kingdom. All right, continuing, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Okay, which is Esau. He brings all these wicked decrees. All right, the dollar itself is a wicked decree. Okay, it's made legal tender by government decree. All right, it's not it's not backed by anything. All right, it's just a promise. That's why it's called a promissory note. And that's why they say paper money usually always goes back to its intrinsic value, which is always zero. It's never been worth anything. Okay, you just been told it's worth something. Okay, but this is all biblical prophecy that the article, Slakia. Really fast, I know brothers probably already clutched up on this, but here, JP Morgan says, dump US dollar as its century of global dominance coming to an end. The US dollar will struggle to remain the top international currency in the coming decades as the rising power of Asian economies, right, China, surpassing America, so they say, is set to undermine its leading position. Wall Street Bank, JP Morgan Chase has predicted. He didn't predict nothing, okay? This is all the work of the Most High. Okay, the U.S. here's a quote, the U.S. has been the world's dominant reserve currency for almost a century. The bank strategist Craig Cohen wrote in a report earlier this month. And this is coming out in the news. So what more is not being said behind the scenes? Okay, because these elites it's a war. All right, so they're 10 steps ahead of all this. All right, so where are they now? All right, in their conversations when this stuff like this is coming out in the news. Okay, this stuff like this you have to think about. Okay. This is all being done on purpose. All right, these things that the so-called America is doing is very bold, it's very childish, it's very stupid. Why? Because they're trying to provoke a reaction so they can justify themselves and going into this Third World War. Okay, this is exactly what's happening. All right, Esau's becoming sloppy. He's becoming very impatient. Why? Because he has full confidence in his blessing, that sword. He don't care about being politically correct. He got the big guns. Okay, he can say all manner of smack he wants. Why? Because he believes in his blessing. All right, but he doesn't understand that it was given to him by the Lord. All right, and the Most High giveth, so does the Most High taketh away. All right, and it's biblical prophecy that this place is crumbling. All right, from its core, it's rotting away. All right, why? Because the things that has been done to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, all this blood on this land. All right, they take glory. They take glory of this nation, but hide all the shame behind it. All right, but they're getting ready to be paid because the Most High didn't forget about this. All right, so he didn't forget about none of this. All right, none of the things that happened onto his people. All right, so nonetheless, I'm gonna close out here in James 5th chapter. So James chapter 5 and verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Exactly, because this nation has been built off lies, rape, robbery, and murder. All right, all this glory, and they cover the shame. All right, that's why the Most High is going to make this place bare. All right, and show its nakedness. All right, show its shame. All right, things that they sweep under the rug. All right, all the things that have done in the darkness are being brought to the light. All right, things that have been ignored and not talked about are being brought to the forefront. Why? Because Esau is a devil the Bible speaks of. Okay, and he's here on the earth and he's very well alive. Okay, that's why the quote goes: "The greatest trick the devil has ever pulled is showing that, or roughly paraphrasing, making people to believe he doesn't exist." All right, but the devil's alive and well, and he runs this world. Okay, and people are getting ready to see, his horns. Why? Because it says, he's going to come down having great wrath, knowing he have but a short time. All right, he's getting ready to put out a rulership. All right, just like he did in the time of Romans. Okay, all these kingdoms have their time to rule and their time to fall. And this is just this time for so-called America to fall. So the kingdom of heaven can be established, okay? All right, Salaki, this is James chapter 5 and verse 3. I'm going to close out. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Damn, it goes in, there was a time frame in American history called the Gilded Age. I remember in history. I don't know how to spell it. Gilded Age. Because it said cankered. Yep, the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age is a term applied to the period after the Civil War until about 1896. It was popularized by Mark Twain in the book The Gilded Age. What the hell? Tell me what it is. Slakia. But this is what I'm talking about, though. What is meant by the Gilded Age? The Gilded Age is defined as the time between the Civil War and World War I, during which the U.S. population and economy grew quickly. There was a lot of political corruption and corporate financial misdealings, and many wealthy people lived very fancy lives. Okay, so basically, fool's gold. Okay, you come to America, all right, for a land of opportunity, but you're here to be sold over to these rich elites, right, into their system, and you make them richer and fatter while you become poor and wasted away and destroyed pretty much. Okay, and going into that cankered and rust, going into that state of decay. Okay. All right, because that's what's happening to this nation. All right, see all this oppression, you see? All right, fool's gold. Okay. That's why I say everything that glitters is not gold. All right, America glitters, but it's not gold. Okay, look at, this is shame. All right, that's spiritual. Okay. The Gilded Age. And dang, I can't believe I remember that too, All right, but let's close out this precept. All right, James 5 and 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. All right, that's these missiles, man. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. All right, ultimately, that flesh being eaten with fire is going to be these nuclear missiles. All right, to completely wipe this place away. All right, and turn into the dust and ashes, which is deserves to be. All right, and that's why Most High says, "Come out of my people, come out of this place." All right, because this place is getting ready to be put out, and you don't want to be put out along with it. All right, so but it's gonna start happening really, really quickly. All right, the days are being shortened, and that time is nigh. All right, so it's time to wake up out of sleep. All right, because our salvation is nearer than we believe. But nonetheless, those were in this edifying, and as always, want to give all praises to Yahawah, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Makakwadash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole collective Israel. Shalom.